بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين. Welcome to our class today. Actually, this lesson has been prepared by Grammar Mega Hoal and presented by the الانجليزية. Today, actually, we are going to talk about an interesting lesson. We have some great and noble objectives in this lesson. You can revise the use of adjectives. Number two, practice using adjectives. As we know, adjectives, for example, words that describe a noun, for example, red, tall, and big. Number three, understand the difference between to and enough and their placement. As we know, to and enough, they are actually similar in meaning, but there are some differences in using, and there are differences in their placement. We are going to discuss about these things. Number four, we are going to practice using to and enough in context. Where can we put them in context? Number five, practice using descriptive language. So, here, warming up, we have a picture of elephant. Can you describe the picture? Actually, I need you to revise in your mind some adjectives which are suitable for describing this picture. Okay, for example, here we can use big, tall, huge. So there are many adjectives can be used here. Okay, when you use more than one adjective before a noun, here before a noun, the adjectives go in a certain order. We have certain order, not randomly, but the adjectives. The order is determined by category. Usually only one of three adjectives are used to modify a noun at a time. So here we have fixed categories and determined. So the first one here, we have opinion, size, shape, age, color, nationality, material. So here we have categories here. Okay, here we have an exercise to write each sentence putting the adjectives in the correct order. Add commas, as you see here, for example, comma, this is comma, where necessary. There is a round, small table in the kitchen. There is, here, after putting the comma, there is a small, comma, round table in the kitchen. So we put comma between two adjectives here. What about the other sentences? Our new apartment in the brick small building. Okay, here think about that. Number two, the apartment has old Persian wonderful rug. Number three, there are new enormous windows. Number four, unfortunately, there are ugly velvet brown curtain in the living room. Number five, but there are lovely silk yellow curtains in the bedroom. Okay, after thinking about these adjectives and putting the comma, we will get these answers. As you see here, we have a comma between two adjectives here. Between three adjectives here, we have comma and comma here. Here number three, enormous, comma, new windows. Ugly, comma, brown, comma, velvet curtains. Actually, after the last Adjective, we don't put comma. Number 5, here we have lovely, comma, yellow, comma, silk curtains. Okay. Here we have other examples. The apartment has a formal, large dining room. Here, number 7, it has wood, beautiful old floors. Number 8, the old-fashioned orange small bathroom needs to be removed. Number 9, the bedroom is painted comforting light blue color. Number 8, American nice large family lives next door. So we will get these answers. As you see here, large, comma, formal dining room, beautiful, comma, old, comma, wood floors, old-fashioned. Here we have comma as the previous sentences. Okay, here this ant, as you see here, this is ant. This ant is too small to be seen. Okay, barely can see. But the elephant here, the elephant is big enough to be seen. What about the difference between too small here, big enough? Let me tell you. We use to describe the negative effect of having more than necessary. Okay, here we have to. We use it when we describe a negative effect. To can be placed. Here we are talking about the place in context. To can be placed before adjectives and adverbs. So to, we use it before adjectives. Here we have 2 examples. It's too old, as you see here, to before the adjective. It's too old. We don't say old to. It's too old to work in the garden. It's too late to see the film, and it started 20 minutes ago. So we put to before adjectives. Here, on the other hand, we have enough. What about enough? We use enough to describe the effects of having the right amount of something. Enough can be placed after adjectives, not before, but after adjectives and adverbs. John isn't patient enough. As you see here, we put enough after the adjective. John isn't patient enough to work as a teacher. The dress isn't big enough. As you see here, enough after the adjective. Enough can be placed before nouns. Before nouns. They should buy their own home. They have enough money. Sometimes we put it before nouns. Okay. A phrase with to and enough can be followed by an infinitive phrase. What does mean infinitive? Infinitive means to plus verb without addings. We don't add ing, ed, or s to the verb. So here, phrase with to and enough can be followed by an infinitive phrase. He is too young to go. Here we don't add anything to the verb. These jeans are not clean enough to wear. To wear here, this is infinitive. We don't add ing or any other addings to the party. Okay, use the words to write one complaint using to and one complaint using enough. Complaint, as we know, complaint when you say about disadvantages of something in a place or a restaurant or office. So sometimes they put complaint box. Okay, here the question, use the words to write one complaint using to and one complaint using enough. Okay, here we have an example. The elevator moves slowly, quickly. He wants me to put or use to enough to this complaint. We can say the elevator moves too slowly. It doesn't move quickly enough. Okay, here we use to and we use enough. As you see here, this example actually determine the placement of these two and enough. Number one here, he wants you to do it by yourself. The lobby, dirty, clean. Here we have two adjectives. Number two, walls, thin, thick. Number three, the neighbors, and concentrate, concentrate. Number four, the neighbors talk loudly, softly. Okay, think about it. Okay, let me show you the answers here. Here, number one, the lobby is too dirty. It's not clean enough. As you see here, we have enough by the end of the complaint. Now, the walls are too thin. They aren't thick enough. Too thin. Focus on the placement of too and enough. The neighbors, concentrate, concentrate. Here, the neighbors are too and concentrate. They aren't concentrate enough. The neighbors talk too loudly. They don't talk softly enough. Okay? Now, here use the words to write one complaint using to and one complaint using enough. Here, the rest of the sentences. The painter painted carelessly, carefully. Number six, the bed soft, firm. The atmosphere unfriendly, friendly. Number eight, the bus stop far, close. He wants you to answer these sentences as previous sentences that we have done. Okay, the answers, as you see here, the painter painted too carelessly. Too carelessly. He wasn't careful enough. As you see here, enough by the end, and here to before adverbs. The bed is too soft. It's not firm enough. He adds, it's not firm enough. Number seven, the atmosphere is too unfriendly. Okay, it's not friendly enough. The bus stop is too far. Too far. It's not close enough. Okay. Here, the exercise, complete each sentence with an infinitive. As we discussed about infinitive and gave you the definition of infinitive, verb without any addings. We add to with verb without any addings. For example, here, I'm not tall enough to be. Here, this is infinitive. To be a basketball player. Number one, I'm tall enough. Think about it. How can you use infinitive here? I'm tall enough. Number two, I'm not tall enough. Number three, I'm too young. Okay, here we can get the answers. I'm tall enough to reach the top shelf. He adds here, to reach. I'm tall enough to reach the top shelf. Number 2 here, I'm not tall enough to see. Here this is infinitive, to see over the fence. Number 3, I'm too young to vote in the election. Here, I'm old enough, I don't have enough money, I speak enough English. What can we say here? We can say I'm old enough to make my own decision. To make here. I don't have enough money to buy, okay, to buy a car. I speak enough English to order food in a restaurant. Okay, here we have a picture. Look at the picture. Describe the house using multiple adjectives. Then give your opinion of the house using to and enough. Okay, by describing this picture. Okay, here we are going to summarize the lesson to adjectives, adverb. As you see here, after to we put adjective, adverb, but here we put adjective, adverb before enough. Okay? Here a phrase with to and enough can be followed by infinitive phrase. Okay? To plus verb, infinitive, without addings, we will get infinitive phrase. To with verb infinitive, we call it infinitive phrase. Okay, this is so darn easy. I hope you enjoyed, and goodbye.